Okay, I don't know if I'm live yet or not, but I'm going to put myself up there and just start talking, I guess. I don't know. What it is, oops, I start with how I do this by a short explanation up here. And it's more about my editing and the knowledge that I put into editing the text that you're seeing. And since I already started and I found out had the mic on, I got to start over, but I'm not going to re-edit that. I just go through here and explain it again. Now, I did mention that 7 and 8 are out completely. There's nothing to save from there. And I'm not sure if I'm going to save that video or if I got it saved. I guess maybe I should say that. But they're just out. I left some editing that you could see that's possible, but when the books went missing for 100 years, and the Vatican didn't know who had control of it. I do, and I'm not going to edit their editing. Okay, so, but when I started this to edit it, I took out this here for the simple fact that Darius, he is going to be the king immediately. Okay, so what has happened in the above story is that King Nebuchadnezzar was sick and old, and his son, the prince, decided to hold a feast. Now, that means Nebuchadnezzar was getting up there because he had to have a son old enough to be able to do what he wanted freely without his dad, the king, being too much aware. So I got to kind of say he must have been ill at this time. So what in that one we learned that when the writing went on the wall, he was proclaiming that Daniel could be third in the kingdom, which means that he was known as second. But he died that night, and his dad, and Nebuchadnezzar, died. So the guy that's taken over is this guy. And now remember, this guy has to be aware of everything that happened to Nebuchadnezzar, because if he ate grass, you had to keep that information away from people. Okay? And it wasn't 7 years. So you'll see that in the text, or later when you actually start reading what I've done and know everything that is as truthful as I can get it. So he must have been the third, because you can't replace the prince. So he was third. So that's how I put it instead of a descendant, although I think it is his brother. Okay, I really have suspicions that it's his brother. So the thing here is he became king. This is just corrected to be said made king, but he became our king. And I'm putting our by putting it into first person. This text is just wrong. We're talking about Babylon. Now I've got to start putting the text together here. And I got, in his first year, I studied the numbers of the years. Okay. Now, Daniel, I'm just taking it for granted, is the writer. Okay. But maybe I should put him back in and say, I, Daniel, studied, because I got rid of the word books down, because down here it said what he was studying. So it would have been only one book that would have had this text. I, Daniel, studied the numbers of years and I was having a hard time finding, because for the rebuilding and completion, I'm going to put a period here. And this is kind of where I left off. I had figured out that when it has the number 70, I'm writing it as Old Hebrew, which means they didn't have a number 70. They would have write it 7, 10 years would mean 70. And if it was be like 72, it would be and 2. Okay? That's how they wrote. Their vocabulary wasn't that large. They had no need for numbers. So this means that this would be the end, and then this here, because that's going to be a group, that's going to be a group, and then this is going to be a group here. So and I'm going to have to use their word there to make it back to 3 verse. It does, which was revealed. It has to be a period. This will have to be a comma. Which was revealed, and I'm going to leave it as that color. But this here, no, it's prophecy, so I have to have it this color. And I'm going to make it red or fuchsia for right now, which was revealed, which I guess that has to be that way as well, which was revealed in a prophecy from YV. Okay. By Jeremiah our prophet, for the rebuilding and completion for Jerusalem's 70 years. For the rebuilding and completion, or the completion from desolation, we're still going to be separate. If I make these 2 words as the first statement, because I know it's desolated right now. There's nobody, there's just a remnant there. For the rebuilding and completion. Or I guess I got this wrong. In 7, 10 years. Because this is all has to be our Creator saying this. Okay, let me save that. So got a good start today. We actually got some text. All right. I gave my attention. How do you say that by attention? It's not attention. And this is written in Aramaic, or it has a lot of the text is written in Aramaic, which I really believe is Babylonian, by the way. I don't. Daniel was skilled in Hebrew, and he would have been taught their language. So maybe Aramaic is Babylon. I don't know, but anyways. So I gave my attention. It wasn't that. I sought our Lord, gave attention, I sought. I prayed, really. No, I petitioned. When a petition is to ask our Creator something. A prayer down here is to talk to our Creator. Oh, it's going to be here. They use supplication. I use the word petition. Although they use both of the words. So if I put it here, what's happening to the verse now? By prayer and whoops, I don't need and here. I just got to bring it up. And supplication. And I don't think he did this. So I'm thinking that's here. Okay, now I got right here. I got the same thing here. Name. This would have to be by praying. He didn't receive it all in one night, so by praying and petitioning. Yeah, this is going to be another one of them got to figure it out puzzle type of things. So this I've got already. So this I can take out. Now let's see. Still says says excellent, but it's just sitting there spinning. Oh man. So I gave my attention to Lord our Creator. By praying and this would have to be, if this goes down, it has to be to our Creator. I sought our Creator. I sought from our Creator. To our Lord and Creator. To our Lord. This is the Hebrew word or the. Wait a second. That's a Hebrew word. How come I got that here? This is only verse 3. Okay. This seems not to be an Aramaic. This part here. I was going to say, I've clicked on so many words before that it's partly Aramaic, because that is a Hebrew word for the title Lord. So, um, okay, this is better when I do this. Now, this is back to Hebrew, where I'm looking for a better word for the word gave here. I committed myself, but they only used it once. And that's not good. Gave, given, yeah, that's. But I presented. Oh, this is. Nope, that didn't work. Okay. Um, because he's got to do it by both of these. He's got to he's got down here farther since I've already went through this. So you can see it can start talking to him. Okay, so there's him talking to him. Still talking. Still talking. Still talking. What was done to Jerusalem? Okay, that would still would be talking to him. Now let your anger and wrath. That's not a question, he's talking. Hey, this is going to be good here because his face isn't shining in his tent or his house, but he is a light, his light. And I'm not seeing him actually ask a question. He's talking to him about take action, if that's what words come out. Okay, so because Gabriel showed up, I don't know if you were reading as fast as I was, but up here, then I've got it wrong. This is not right. Okay, now if that's a period, it gave my attention. What is attention really quick here? Okay, it's got a lot of words, so might as well come along for the ride. I gave my before our Lord. Okay, now that helps. I like the word before being used because where is attention? 3 times. The word before. Okay, I think I'm going to try to put that there. This word is before. Now, if I have the word before here, this would have to say before. Now, it would seem like it's my choice whether 1 or 2. And here, because they refer to him as the creator who created the nation, created the people to create the situation for everybody else to learn about him. So I'm going to use that title, not this title, before our creator. And I guess so before our creator, period. And it's going to be I sought him. I sought from him. I sought from him by praying. Now, this here is already being said, so that would be a repeat. This, I'm using this title already. If this is a comma, I sought him by praying. By confessing to our Lord. Okay. He is now, the title is a provider. Okay. So great and awesome God. He doesn't know that. Don't read that. That's just not there. By confessing to our Lord. This would be the period, and then that's the last verse for that one. Okay. Commandments, I can do that. his commandments, I can do that. It's not his covenant, it's his promises. Because he says many things over the years, so you can't call a covenant more or less as like the overall, like maybe it's could be used as the beginning when he's talking to Abraham. I'll start my everlasting covenant with you, meaning promises, and then to the next, to the next, to the next, he tells them of a promise. So his promises and blessings, because those who are onto our Creator receives his blessings by keeping his commandments. Okay, maybe you don't know that. Maybe you weren't taught that. It's just shocking. Everybody's using the words wrong, and everybody keeps repeating it. For us, keeping his commandments, not keeping, obeying. Our Creator's 12 commandments was announced as an agreement when he came out the Sinai and the people were there. They were finally rid of the Egyptians. They were first starting out in the Sinai. He makes an agreement with them that these 12 commandments, you obey them, you stay in my nation, or I'm kicking you out to become outcast. So this is what he's going to be talking about, that this promises that I just described about his commandments. Okay, so I'm thinking this will be here. This is a correct statement here. And this would be statutes, would mean these are the second most important, or no, these were the first important things to follow, was his statutes, which was circumcision, obeying the celebration for the Passover. Did I write? I think I got that spelled wrong. There, that looks better. Statutes. This would have to say by turning a okay. Because by turning away of them, that's going to be like, this is what the commandments mean to us. This is because we did this, though. That's how this is going to get tied. Nope. This is going to get tied to that. This is going to be this is going to start the story of that we did this, so we deserve what we got. So And we know who he is, so I was going to say for YV keeps his promises. For YV keeps his promises and blessings, for us obeying his commandments. Because you have to be obedient, and I've got that here. So love, you can't just love our Creator. By you being obedient, you become righteous, okay? So for YV keeps his promises and blessings. And blessings means food, family, secure safety. Well, I think there's a few more things that could be covered under blessing. Not from diseases, not from sicknesses, but everybody's got to go through them. We all have our burdens. But for YV keeps his promises and blessings to us for obeying. To us. To us for obeying his commandments. Okay. Boy, having a rough start today. I have to use the word yet here somewhere. I gotta have the word yet. Yet we sinned and rebelled. By turning away from your commandments and statutes. I'm going to have to put the word for here, for, and it's not we. The survivors were good, for they for they we got 0 drop frames. So I don't know why I'm getting a delay. For they did not listen to your, if their servants are your priests. and prophets. Priests and prophets. For they did not listen to your priests and prophets. Now this, when I got that reads like this. Like those two are hooking. That is not a statement, and this is here because this is not part of this statement. This has to be forefathers. Let me just correct what I can. They didn't have princes. Our kings. Our kings. And our forefathers. Nor the people ever. Well, they did not listen to your priests and prophets speaking for your name. And would that be the end of that? They weren't speaking, they were declaring. Declaring your name, I guess. To your priests and prophets, declaring your name. Now, this does have to be a period. Okay, next paragraph, next group of words. Our kings and our forefathers. And every tribe. I'm trying to cover the word land as well when I say this, because it says all the people means every tribe here. So it was like that, I believe. It should be tribe. And every tribe. In our promised land. This has to be but our kings and our forefathers and every tribe in our Promised. This is our Creator promised them. But I'm not seeing the next group here. But our kings and our forefathers and every tribe in our promised land now has open shame. I'm going to have to put this that I add that and using that. Now has a shame. Shamed us. Yeah, because this is not connecting. I can't connect that to anything. In every tribe in our promised land has now shamed us. Has now shamed us as it is this day. This has to be for Judah. Now, this would be the nation Judah. Okay. So it's Judah and Jerusalem. That would be a period. But this, I have to go up here. Go to small caps. Make it bold. I believe that's the way I've been designating it, as it would have a capital here letter to mean it's good nation. This is my representation for it being a bad nation. As it is this day for Judah and Jerusalem. Okay. No. And for all Israelis. Now, I'm using the word Israelis as the good people. Okay. Those that were still obedient, because the remnant on the land that he didn't kill, he said he was going to leave them there. Those that he told to run and leave, and by him telling them the prophecy to leave, they're ending up in Egypt. If you understand Ezra, who speaks about returning, they are returning from whatever the text says. They have to be returning from Egypt, because we've got text also from, was it Zechariah, returning from Babylon. So if they already come to Babylon, don't need them 2 times. And for all Israelis, who are nearby, and he's talking about those in Babylon. I'm going to have to put and in other kingdoms. And I do believe this is within the shadow of the word or the intent of the word all. Other kingdoms. And notice I got countries, like all of a sudden, and for the first time, the text starts calling kingdoms countries. So let's get back to how they knew kingdoms, dictatorships. For all Israelis who are nearby and in other kingdoms. Because as they fled to Egypt, there's a couple down there. They flew to the Arabs in the desert. So kingdoms is those two directions and others. So that's what I mean by the word kingdoms. Just trying to make sure that when you come and hear why I put it there, so that those two go together. These two together, which you have driven them. Okay, yes. To which you have sent them. Yep, this has to be all, meaning our Creator, to which you have sent them, period. Because of, it has to be our. He's speaking as for the group of them here. Remember, he's pleading to our Creator for all of them, for sent them. I guess I'm going to need the word because of our unfaithfulness. They aren't just deeds. Because we're unfit. This is going to be a space or two. Which we committed. Okay. I've already got this all set up here. Where is it? Open now, open shape. So that would be a repeat. Don't need it. That is what's already been said. This has been said. That's already been said. This has all been said. All been said. It has to be your curse. So your curse has been not poured out. What is the word? Oh, okay, now this is 11. Let me see here. Go here. I got to get to 11. What's a better word than pour out? Rained upon us, melted upon us. Oh, let's see here. So a curse has been given to us. I have to put it given, I guess. It's the only thing I can think of right now. And remember, there's going to be editing and more editing. And this is just the first one to get the stories going here and getting them the formats. So your curse has been given to us. I'm going to put here by your promise, oops, by your promise, by your promise, written, by your promise and prophecy. This has to be prophecy. I'm going to have prophecy. I think I'm using that word right. Because they told them what was going to happen if they didn't obey the 12 commandments. So the curse has been given to us by your promise by your promise by prophecy. Now this has to be Moses. I gotta agree with that. He was there, but he wasn't a servant at that time. He was judge, and it was your servant, your no, it would have been our judge. Here has to be or judge, but judge has to be period. And this is, he designated him as judge. This has to be through. Yeah, I know it's my shortcut, but I don't want to make it a big word like it's supposed to be. I'm trying to keep it through 1-2 major words in each sentence. I think I've said that enough. So through Moses. Okay, now that's 2 groups, so I got to find another group here. This curse. Thus we have confirmed your words that we've done this, which was spoken against us and against our rulers, against our, I'm going to put leaders. That way it's the tribal leaders, the village leaders, the priests, scribes, prophets are all summed up in the word leaders. Or those that were ruling over them, authority over them, I guess, is pretty much leaders. Title lords would be here, maybe. Okay, I'll leave it as leaders. And this has to be our Creator spake these words. You spake against us and against our leaders. By your promised words, you spake against us. I'm looking for a better beginning than this here. For many sinned against you. No, not sinned, it rebelled. for rebelling against you. For rebelling against you, you spake against us and again. Yeah, I think that ties together. Okay, on to the next two. Here it is again. This is maybe the second group that's repeating, doubling up here. So I haven't seen that do that like that in a long time, where the story is in the same story, but you got two different ways of saying each of these things. I was just thinking maybe if I put them into these three verse groupings, but that'd just be doubling them up anyway. You don't need any doubling. Rebelling against you. You spake against us and against our leaders. Now, if example, I could change the word here to what, meaning his promise of casting them away. What you spake of us. Against our leaders. We're rebelling against you, what you spake of against us and against our leaders. Your curse has been given to us, what you have spake against us and against our leaders. I guess that's about how they're grouped together anyways. And brought this is coming from our Creator though. And brought on us your wrath. Your wrath. Not under the whole heaven. And brought on us your wrath. That has not been done to us. and done to your house. It has to be your house, because Jerusalem was just a capital city, like in like Samaria was for the nation Israel. So done to your house has to be the right word. This has already been said. This has been said. So now I am seeking your favor to your prophecy, not truth, but prophecy from Jeremiah. That's what started all this conversation here. I'm not seeing it even when I put it up there. I don't see that. Okay. And so by turning from your iniquity and giving, by turning and giving, because you remember, this is him talk to our Creator. So it has to be, I am seeking your favor by turning and giving attention to your prophecy. Just got to get rid of some of these things that I would do. YV has kept us. This seems to be this group. Your favor for you, YV. Error 1000, reload player. Okay, it seems like I'm pretty close now to where I was, but it might be stuck. So, yep, I don't know what's going on. I really don't. For you, YV. I want to say I got to change it to keep. I'm trying to hook it to the verse above. So this is out, and then this has to be out. Attention to your prophecy. It's not to. He's talking to him now. Keep. What? And it's going to be because it's prophecy. Now keep. Not, it's now remember. It's a better way of saying it. Now remember. Now remember. Um, Boy, I'm not seeing anything here that I like. Because he's made himself known in Babylon. So that's what he's going to say here. That you made yourself known like you did in Egypt, and you've done that here. Now lead us out, is what I'm trying to see here. Now remember and bring. It's a poor word. Although that's our creator, and bring it on us. Period. For you, YV, are righteous. Now this has already been said, so that's not part of it. Maybe all of this is out and it starts here. Let me look here. Now, our creator. It has to be will. Have is past tense, so that isn't what he's talking about here. It's now our Creator. Gonna have to say, you will not, that's going to bring forth. Bring forth. And these are Jesus's people, so his people. Bring forth, I've got the word out here. Brought out, and they stuck the word his people here, so I don't need the word out here. Like from the land for Egypt. King for Egypt. I know that's stretching it, but they just didn't bring him out of the land. That would have been me being more stupid than they were. Like from the king for Egypt. Yeah, I'm not liking any of this. Okay, now that makes two groups. This wouldn't be here. This is this day. Now you got to remember, the king was going to kill all the wise men. Daniel came in and told him what he dreamt about, then described it, and then told him he's going to eat some grass for 3 seasons. So the thing there is yeah. And then when he declared our Creator as the Creator, he's made a name. It's not thyself. This has to be known. But then again, I got to put it as, You made yourself known. You made yourself known. As it as it is in these days, as it these years, they can't be. It happened over years. I've estimated 4 years at least. But right now we know it's 70 years to the time that it's going to be all rebuilt. And right now, the text that I've got done, we got 6 years that this king sent them down, 6 years before the house is completed. That means everything was made, the fence was made, the priests were selected, and that was set up. Now, to rebuild Jerusalem, and he said, prophesied, without walls. So the thing here is they were to build up the city to be as good as it was before, which would take many years of people having children there until it was established as a city, a bustling city, as a capital city. If I put the word and here, and yourself known, now and yourself known in our years, or no, or in these years, in the past years, in these past years. Okay, I'm going to keep these. I was just trying to figure out. I do that. I read, and still want to keep editing. So let me see here. But it's still frozen. I can't believe that. I'm just going to get rid of that. I quit. I can't. I give up. I give up. I got to go spend the money. And a mighty hand. I was going to say, by your and might and mighty, but by your will. By your mighty hand. By your might you made yourself known. But that means this, and then this is a comma. This is out. This is out. That means this. Now that becomes in these years, by your might you made yourself known. I like that. It just needed to be switched around. Okay. And that's group. So this group doesn't sound like this group. Made yourself known. None of this makes sense. Not turn us away, but return us to your city, Jerusalem. Not your holy mountain. Not because of our sins. Not this either. Not this either. Not that. Okay. I'm not going to use the title here. We already know he's talking to him in first person. Your might and you made yourself known. Now let him move it here. That's what I do when I move the words around. Now let your anger and wrath period. Be turn away would be removed. I don't know if I need. How do I do this? Because it's got to be Jerusalem and house. From your house. Mm, I can't remember what I just said. Turn away. Um, Now let your anger and wrath. Okay. If I leave it like this, don't need this. Do that. Be removed. Okay. Let your wrath, your anger and wrath be removed. Now I added that word, so turn away. Now let your anger and wrath turn away from your house in Jerusalem. Now that sounds good. Now, that's almost like the end of what he said here. And I've got to take a quick break here, so All right, just setting it up again here. Okay. I left off here. This house. Oh, and coming to very important words here. Now, people don't know that our Creator was showing Himself as a light shining above His mercy seat. I can find the light of His presence written in Psalms. I don't know, can't remember which one. But I should bring that text forward and use this text as well to prove those that He was doing this. And let your not face light. Remember in John they said from His light came Jesus our light. So let your light shine not on in your room, which is also known as a meeting room. In your room, in your house. Can you imagine that? Our Creator needed a sanctuary? I get a kick out of that every time I read that. Anyway, that just... But you might believe it. I don't. I go by what our Creator called it. When He had Moses built a tent for meeting with Him, it became a house for meeting with Him. And no other words. Okay, that's going to be... Those two are going to connect. Not for your sake, for our sake. Now this could be Jesus' sake. Okay, but so that's being said wrong. Now to correct that, I can this would mean king, right? So that's just got to be spelled right. And say, okay. Now, I do have to show you what name they had given Jesus. And this is it. In Isaiah 38, chapter 11, they use the title Lord, but the word is Yah. So I will not see Yah in the land of the living. This king was from Judah, and he knew he wasn't going to be around to see the king come into Jerusalem. So he didn't get to see Yah. Okay, that's just one of the 3 or 4 verses, but that's the main one that starts out. I start my argument from. So I get rid of that, get rid of this. Oops. Or Yah our King. I guess I did need that. Away from your house. We are the King. Let your light shine in your room, in your house. Okay. Now I gotta find the verse here. I don't think this is said. No, he just got telling him what for. He knows the city is desolate because he told him that's what was going to happen. So he doesn't need to do that. Doesn't need to do this. Now, if I'm looking for but on account of your compassion for him, which would be Yah. Should I put his name here? It'd be not on account of our any merits would be goodness, or not on account of our obedience, but by your compassion for Yah. But not on our account, not on merits of our own. I don't see of our own. I just not on account of our and I gotta put obedience here. Obedience, I think I gotta have an I in here. Obedience. Let me see here. That's 18. Our righteousness. Okay, I could use the word righteousness. Not on account of our righteousness, because the righteousness, like I says, is the next step up from obedience. So now I want to put it back because I want to put the word to you in. Our righteousness to you. I want to put our obedience, our obedience. I want to add to you. And that would be this. Okay. Not on account, not for our obedience. I could put for here and get rid of account. It just reads better than, but now I have to make it my word that I'm adding here. Not for our obedience to you, but by your compassion for Yah. A supplication before you. So if I use before you, or I am pleading with you. Or I am presenting, which is I think he's pleading, for I am pleading before you. Pleading before you. Not on account. Okay, that sounds good. Okay. Now, prophecy, he would not say you're going to delay it. That he prophesies, it comes true. This has been said. This has been said. This hasn't been said. So, all that and that is no good. Okay. I guess I'll get to the end here. It might be a couple hours yet. Another hour, but that's all right. Now, I was, as I was, I'm going to replace that with as. Now, as I was speaking. But the thing here is now as I was praying and confessing our sin, our rebellion, now as I was praying and confessing our rebellion, or his or his or his descendants from Israel. And that's very important to have the word descendants. It is a T or a D? For his descendants from Israel the male. Okay. This doesn't need to be said because it's got to go with this. But now, as I was praying, what happened? Okay. Gabriel has to be in those sense. But Gabriel is not a man, right? Unless he appeared as a man. And it would be as a male Gabriel not as an angel. An angel has the wings shining in white, okay, in their glory. That's to speak of the angels' glory, what they look like. I guess I need the word then. Then Gabriel. Now, as I was praying and confessing our rebellion for his descendants from Israel, then as a male Gabriel and he appeared to Mary and Joseph as well. So we have to remember that. I've got that right. And this is in a vision before. That would have to be from our Creator. Gabriel, I got to put in green. And because this has to be a vision, had seen in a vision before. Okay. Came to me there's no such thing as an evening offer, but I need the word evening, I guess. Came to me in the evening. Okay. No, I'm going to get rid of that word and use that evening. Well, no, it says as he was praying. So, what am I going to do here? And talked with me. Okay. But that's a long way from it. But came has to be from our Creator. Talked has to be green. And said, I have come, comma, to give you I And he said, I have come to give you, but this has got to be coming from our Creator, give you, no, the wrong one, understanding. Now let's see. Those two go together. This has to be separated. That and that. So now he's going to, well, he was bring, okay, that hooks together. Now I have this, and I got a command was issued. Our Creator does not give a command. It was issued to me. And it doesn't take our Creator from that long to get here. He already knows he was going to do it anyway. And I have this. No. Understand is that'll be our grade is prophecy. And that's got to be a period, I'm thinking. Understand. Give you understanding by explaining. I'm just trying words out because I can't remember the words that are coming up here. This we know he's already done. By explaining his prophecy. This is 7 tens. It's not a vision that he had, it was prophecy. So now this has to be our this is coming from our Creator, our years. He has commanded. Our Creator don't decree nothing. But he does command. And this has to be the word the. He already read them. So he doesn't have to say our years. The 7-10 years are his command. And 7 and 10 years. And by explaining this prophecy, the 7-10 years commanded. Commanded. Okay. For his people. For his people. This isn't right. That's wrong. This is when you make an atonement, you're making an atonement for sin. For his people. Okay. To bring in everlasting righteousness. To anoint the most holy places. No, this is wrong. Anoint. Anoint is done with his oil. His oil is in his house when it is completed, and it's to use to light the lamps or keep the lamps lit. So this is wrong. Until the anointment. Which would be anointment of Jesus, his people here. So most holy. I'm going to put highest, which makes him holy. Jesus is going to be their highest, so that would be the end of this verse here. Anoint your highest. Okay. Now that seal up the vision, no. To unseal To unseal. I know it's a poor word. Unseal. His prophecy. Jesus, the prophecy of Jesus. Okay. See, now here's what to restore and rebuild. And rebuild Jerusalem. Boy, awfully slippery today. I guess I washed and cleaned my towels that I have on top of my arm, my chair here that I put my mouse on. Actually, oh, that's not good. My computer program just on my well, I don't use that no more. So I gotta, whatever words I come up with later, I gotta recheck when the program works right. It's on a virtual box. It's a 16-bit program that only runs, but it has to be on a Windows 10 operating system to work with this software. To make this all happen so I can show you, and it now just went down. And it usually, when it does that, it's into the shop to have it done. I don't know anything about virtual machines. To restore his house and rebuild Jerusalem. This is something a king would do, not our creator. So for you are to know and will discern? No, do. Ta-da! Daniel's going to rebuild the house. That's probably why I did this a long time ago, was that verse right there when I come across that. Okay. This is what is going to happen, and Daniel's going to do it. But it means that the denarius is going to have a vision from our creator, and it might be that is what's missing in the text, And I threw all those words out. So now I have to go back and look to see if that was there. No, and we'll do. The restoring of his house is going to be commanded of Jerusalem. Okay. Well, this, no. This that I worked so hard on, no. What did just happen here? What did I change the word prophecy from? I don't know. I can't remember now, but that's wrong. I'll have to leave that word a different color just because I can't remember right now and I don't care about that word anymore. And it's not going to have a moat and a plaza around it, even in times of distress. Nope. Messiah the Prince? You mean Yah our King? Until Yah your King and I got to find 2 more verses for this. Who is to come who is to come to his house. until Yah, your king, comes. Oops. I'm going to put it here too. And okay. Until Yah, your king, comes to Jerusalem and to his house. Its end. And his end, if I put Jesus' end here, you got to put ending. But this is going to be, because if he's reading the books, he had to read Isaiah's text, where he's going to suffer. But because it's going to be his ending determined by, oops, can't put it that color yet. And his ending, because you might not know about Isaiah's text, but I do. Okay, now comes words here. Nope. Now is this, yeah, those two go together. So it is the end of this. So that would be the end of his words. Wings of abomination makes us even thin. Nope. And that's the end. Okay. I thought it was. So now let me take this and show you what it looks like all cleaned up. And you get to see the first time, well, unless you actually read what I've done already. Go up here. Okay, macro will work. Clean it up. Okay. All right. Now I just need to clean things up here. But if I pull it out a little bit, you'll be able to see what I'm trying to do here. Oh, that should have 2 spaces. And I'm going to now make that I'm going to make it as I added that word. 2 spaces, 1 space, 1 space, 2 spaces down here. This has to be 2 spaces. It is. 1 space, 2 spaces. Oops. And 2 spaces. See how beautiful that looks when you see it from far away like that? It's amazing sometimes how, when you really think about it, how the text does fall together in this beautiful format that you're seeing. This is no longer needed. Now this needs to be 2. Now I don't know. I can't say I'm right here. I might have missed something here. So this has to be 1. And 2 has to get here. That's 2. Wow, it did actually go together. And then this has to be 2. 2, 1, 2, 2, 2. Yep. Just beautiful. Now I got to still do a little bit of correction here on the text. Whoops. That is what I wanted to do. I now want to just grab this as 10 or 9 and pull up Daniel Clean and stick it right there. Now I'm going to clean it up a little bit more. You can see I need green text here. Maybe I'll even do that later if I forget. But the object here is the text is getting almost done. Daniel is almost done here. But I do remember what I said. And this is going to be, okay, that has to be all capital. But that's going to be a new edit. So, all right. It's been long enough. No, it's only been 2.5 hours. So now I would have told you about the text that's missing. I'm going to go look for it to see if the vision of Gabriel is above here. If not, it is something that's lost now then. But we know that there is a vision that he has from Gabriel, and he is telling us that he's had a vision before with them. Now, people are going to say, yes, he had a vision because he was told what Nebuchadnezzar's dream was going to be. But I'm not for sure as that would be what he's talking about. Oops, missed that one. Okay. I will see you later, and I will try to get more text done. Have a great day.